All right, we got a Monday recap. Um, the discovery I made on Friday, I think is a turning point. So far has been working pretty well. By working, I mean one day, but still. So damn my hair. Okay, enough. Yeah. So going into the day, we already said previous day highs. We're at all-time highs. So basically, you want to see if we get displacement down, if we displace it low this low, pull back, we're probably bearish, and I'll take that. But mainly just want to be taking longs unless I see some crazy ass displacement. And looking on the hourly for ES had I'm gonna take that high because obviously you're taking that high for taking this high. Yeah, these two highs that I expected to be hit basically. So scrolling over. Oh my God. Okay. So nine. Right, okay, yeah, this was fucking beautiful actually. Might have been a 15-minute for Valley Gap. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was a 15-minute for Valley Gap. Um, this is like such a beautiful opening play, in my opinion. Um, Basically, we came down, we took out these lows, tapped to a 15-minute, and we think, we're bullish, right? And we get this strong inverse. This is 929, so you have to enter off on market open, which is sketchy. I don't like to do that. But the trade would have looked something like this. Take that entry, stops down here, 2 hour, whatever, would have smacked. Yeah, and then we just start kind of chopping right here. We get this displacement above this high. So I expect this fair value gap to hold basically. Um, The only reason why I didn't like this is just because, like, if you look at this close, like, that is fucking terrible. If we instead filled it, wicked it, and then got a reaction out of it, maybe would have taken that lower size just because there's no confirmation with it. It's usually just taking a wick candle for confirmation on an inverse. Um, yeah, and then we come up again, we displace below high, we have this fair value, yep, expect that to hold. It inverses it kind of and then goes back up, but like I expected to hold anyway, so I don't really obviously you're not gonna short that shit. Like that's retarded. And ES is still going up, right? So now we get up here, we displace, we have this leg, right? Um ES basically comes out and is super bearish. We sweep out lows down here. So we have an SMT there, and this is what I failed to see. Basically, I've been focusing on like the 1 minute and just looking at these legs. You do expect these fair value gaps to hold, but no, uh, I would say a better confluence than even that would be checking the 5 minute and the 15-minute for these gaps. 5 minute didn't have any gaps, but there was a 15-minute gap, which is even better in my opinion. So 15-minute gap right here. You expect that to hold if we're bullish, right? So what do? Come down into it. We create this SMT and we get an inverse, right? You inverse that gap right there. That's the only reason why I didn't take this trade is because on Friday, we had this same leg, right? We inverse all of these. We got the same, like exact same setup basically, and then we dumped after it. And that was because we were just bearish in that scenario, and because we traded through this leg just like that, and didn't respect any of these gaps. So, yeah, I really wasn't confident with that, but if we didn't come all the way down there, I think I would have taken this, but I just have to remember that we're inside a 15-minute gap. We got a V shape out of it, and that should be all I need. So yeah, there was this trade. I did miss out on it, but um, I'm not terribly mad. Now we have these two highs up here that I expect ES to take out, and I still want ES to take that out. So what do we have here? We already displaced above from that 15-minute, so I don't expect this to come to this low. We have this leg on the 5 minute. Let's see. On the 5 minute, yeah, we have a 5 minute gap right here. Do we have a 15-minute gap too? Yeah, it's a 15-minute gap too. So we have this 15-minute gap. No, I'm mm, sorry. I'm okay. Yeah, I think. Well, so there's definitely a 5 minute gap. Maybe it's a 10 minute. Yeah, it was no. It's like an 8 minute gap or some shit. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're inside gaps where I expect to reject. Right, right here. And basically, if this rally gap gets inversed, we're going higher. Because we've been respecting it this whole entire time. So if we get some sort of delivery to the upside, I expect this to get inverse. I expect us to displace above this high, and I expect ES to take out those highs. So this was my trade. Entered on the inverse right here, stops down here, perfectly fine. And if I held to right here, I would have passed my account right there. I think I timed my stops like there. Yeah, if I held it right there, I would have passed my account. You're like, oh wow, your trade played out, right? There's a problem, right? So obviously displacement was high. That's perfectly fine. Stop loss could go down here or break even. Um, but the only thing is that I was looking at ES. ES came right inverse this gap right here, and then we just fucking sold off like pretty harshly down to this 15-minute gap again. We already tapped it here. We got displacement. We inverse that gap. I was thinking there's no need, but like we should be doing if we're going higher to these highs that seem pretty obvious right now. We should go higher now. Because like if this is Nasdaq, right, and you're taking a long, you expect us to go higher. That's an entry right there. And the fact that it went all the way down like that is a little weird. So, yes, we did end up chopping around a bit, blah blah blah. But we do eventually take out those highs, but just because I was not very confident because of ES dumping like that, what I ended up doing was this was my trade, right? That was my trade. Moved my stops right here as soon as he closed below those highs, and then I took out, I want to say like right there. So it ended up being like it was less than 1 hour. I'm not gonna lie. I took my full position out. And I don't necessarily think that that was bad because I thought that ES would drag Nasdaq down, and like there's nothing like it, we're not reacting from anything. There's nothing. We're at all-time highs, so you don't know what NQ is gonna when NQ is gonna dump. I thought that was a pretty obvious signature that ES showed every single signature is going up and then just immediately dumped down to where it shouldn't need to go again. So, that it does suck, but I'm super fucking proud of myself because I took out when I wasn't confident. Uh, obviously I did get mad because it hit my TP like 2 minutes, 3 minutes after, but I didn't trade again after. Um, and yeah, I'm super happy I did that. Now, this is like uncharted territory after this, but I'm just gonna go over, see if there's something that I like. So we're gonna look probably on the 15 minute, see if there's any 15-minute gaps. Yeah, there's a 15-minute gap right there. Let's see what I would have taken if I were to take something here. I mean, okay, yeah, this is pretty simple, right? We tap into this gap, we tap into this gap and we displace up, but we don't inverse that gap. So waiting for that gap to inverse, we inverse it up here. After we retap it down here, technically there is no, not technically, there's no SMT, but we inverse this cleanly and then we inverse this. That should be pretty free. Your stops would have to go below that fair value gap. That fair value gap should hold. Um, yeah, probably my stops. I'm not gonna lie, probably my stops there, 15-point stop. And TP would have been 1 to 1, a little bit above those highs. Or I could have held to when ES took out that target like I was planning to, which would have been holy shit, would have been all the way up there. That would have been holding for an hour-ish, which like, bro, you do not want to, hold your trades like that. But yeah, that is another entry I would have taken. Uh, and also like just look at the fucking displacement. Look at that, it's a V shape. Like that is super bullish. Um, I mean, yeah, this is pretty free. Another inverse right here. He still didn't take out that higher target. You still expect the draw to be higher. Enter on the close, right? Stops down here. You hold it till ES takes that out, which is up here. Bam. Another leg, blah. No inverse, but whatever. Shit. And and yeah, all the targets were taken, so there's nothing else to really take unless you want to take shorts. Because obviously we are not bullish, but doesn't seem like there were any short setups after, really, unless you took like this for value gap, which isn't a bad for value gap to take, but I don't personally like to take just for value gaps. Yeah, so those we had three trades today. This one, eh, four. This one, and this one. Four like perfect trades today. I took mine. I like I'm still confused on if I should have held, like if that was a good idea to take out. I think I made the right choice, being safer than sorry. And it's about time that I start acting like I'm a fucking profitable trader because they take one win and then they get out. If they're not confident, they get out. Why? Because they have their actual money on the line, If I start acting like that, not necessarily thinking about I got money on the line, just like thinking about um like I'm confident in this and I'm gonna take it. This is my setup. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna hold to my TP, all that crap, and I'm gonna take big. I think the biggest thing, one trade a day. Like I like if I get a loss or something, I like need to make it back. And every single time I got in a win, to be honest, I get off. So that is not my problem. My problem is inevitably when I take that loss. I think this is actually the last thing, the last step for me to be fucking profitable is when I take a loss, get off the fucking charts. Don't take another loss because that is what destroys my fucking accounts. Is I take a smaller loss or something like that, and I need to make it back, or I need to at least be break even, or I need to pass my account or something like that, and I need to pass it that day. And that's just not how you need to think. You're never gonna pass an account like that after, like when you take a loss. So honestly, before I pass this account, I hope I get a loss. And I hope that I get the fuck off and I save this account from being blown. Because I know this account will be fucking blown if I take a loss and I keep trading. So that's all I gotta do. One and done. That's it. One and fucking done. Um, Also from just a technical standpoint, looking at these legs as 5 minute displacement on the 1 minute, that's fine. But I do need to still pay attention to the higher time frame gaps. I completely missed the 15-minute gap right here. So if I saw this, I think I would have taken this inverse. Um, but I didn't because I just wasn't paying attention. I was watching Peaky Blinders, I think. So, there's that. But yeah, that's it for today. Overall, good trading day. I love watching myself get better every single day. Like it it feels amazing. It's not gonna feel amazing when I take a loss and I have to get off for the day, but who knows? Maybe it does because I'm following my rules. So yeah, that's it. We'll see.